story I'm about to tell you is one that many Bible readers are familiar with. Jacob and Esau were fraternal twins. They were sons of Isaac. But they were very different and often in competition with each other, usually at Jacob's instigation. Jacob was his mother's favorite. He liked to stay close to home. He worked as a shepherd of his father's sheep herd, and as the younger son was always striving to be first. Esau, on the other hand, was the older brother, his father's favorite son. He was a hunter rather than a shepherd, and seemed to have been more impulsive. One day, Esau went hunting, but he came back home from a whole day of unsuccessful hunting one day, exhausted and famished. On his way in, he passed by Jacob cooking a pot of red stew that smelled delicious. So he asked Jacob for a bowl of it. However, instead of just giving his brother the stew, Jacob offered it for a price. Esau's precious birthright, which would give Esau the authoritative position in the family and the double portion of inheritance. That was the price. It was a ridiculous offer, but Esau's craving persuaded him to say yes. So the wealth and position of Esau's birthright went for the incredibly cheap price of a mere bowl of stew. But before we shake our heads in disappointment at Esau's foolish decision, we should remember that Satan still got the recipe for Esau's stew and continues to hawk the stew to us. The price is always the same, whether you get a small or extra large serving, your salvation. And by the way, Satan has in it a variety of delicious flavors. There's the flavor of popularity, fame, looks, and likes. By the evidence found on social apps these days, it seems like there's nothing that people won't do to get their 15 minutes of fame. The secret sauce in this flavor is the quest to be cool or admired, and it's destroyed more than one Christian life. There's also the flavor of Esau's stew that is sex, pleasure, and the appeasement of appetites. Like the McDonald's signs used to advertise billions served, that's what's going on here with Esau's stew. Indeed, here's the flavor that has enticed billions over the millennia to fall away from God. Romans 1:21-27 says so. It was apparently Esau's favorite flavor. There's also the flavor of happiness. We all just want to be happy, and we are certain that if only we could fill in the blank, we would be so happy. This is certainly a popular flavor, especially among those who are hitting the old midlife crisis. How many folks have shipwrecked their faith over the foolish question, what if this life is all there is? Or how about the flavor of peace? No persecution, no struggle. This flavor is especially appealing to those who expected that the Christian walk was going to be easy. It's usually spiced with a generous measure of go along to get along and don't make waves. In my way, that's another flavor of Esau's stew. My way, I want to be right. This flavor appeals to two kinds of folks. Those who want to get their own way regardless of what God says, and those who need to be right because it would be embarrassing to admit to being wrong. Pride is frequently the special ingredient that makes this flavor so attractive. Or how about the flavor of revenge, hate, and grudges? This flavor has an especially bitter taste to it, but remains a craved favorite, nevertheless, especially after a fit of anger. Cain seems to have liked this variety best. Or the flavor of power, money, by whatever means necessary. It is the by whatever means necessary that's the essence of this Esau stew, appealing especially to those with a materialistic palate. The stew may have an appeal to us as long as we're in the flesh, but the price is much, much, much too high. Esau, after he had sated his appetite, regretted the deal he had struck. Hebrews 12:16 and 17 tells us so. But the damage was done. Happily for us, we can turn things around, but we've got to give back the stew. Repent. My name is Park Linscomb, and I'm the minister for the Rock Hill Church of Christ in Frisco, Texas. I'd love to have you come join us in worship or Bible class. You'll always find a friendly hand waiting for you here.